Hello, and thank you for purchasing this yardage book from SCIPD. Before we get into the course that you have chosen, I would like you to keep a few things in mind as we work through the book. You will not find many, if any, obstacles stated in this yardage book. You will only find guidance as to where to hit the ball rather than where not to hit it. This may seem like a small detail, but in our experience of developing juniors, we have found that the more obstacles players are aware of, the more they are drawn to them. Secondly, most of what is written is based upon our course management philosophy of creating opportunities. These are not birdie opportunities or par saves like you will hear talked about on TV. They are simply opportunities. Opportunities for you to make the next shot great, not because the last one was bad or because you want to putt from a certain score on your next stroke, simply because the shot you are about to hit deserves all of your attention, focus, and a positive attitude. We hope you enjoy this yardage book and the guided tour of the golf course as much as we enjoyed making it for you. Be sure to thank everyone that is working so hard to put on a great event for you to compete in. They will greatly appreciate your smile and a handshake as you say thank you. And gentlemen, please be sure to remove your hats when doing so. Have a great tournament, and we will look forward to seeing our books being put to good use out on the golf course. As for the course itself, I would like to go over the symbol key to make sure that you fully understand everything you are about to come across when creating a strategy for your rounds. The checkered circle is going to represent the line of sight that was used to measure the depth and features of each green. It will be in line with the middle of the fairway, so if you are on one side or the other, you may want to tilt the book to get a better view for how the green is shaped from the side of the hole you are playing from. The dotted lines represent slopes or undulations in the green that are significant enough to cause your ball to bounce or roll off of them. As you work through the book, you will often see numbers on both sides of these dotted lines, representing the number of paces from the front edge of the green to the bottom and top of the given slope. The curved solid lines represent greenside bunkers. It is important to note that not all bunkers are marked, but the ones that are marked are meant to provide you with some perspective about where the features of the green are in relation to the bunkers. The arrows indicate the severity of the slopes. Simply put, the more slender the arrow, the less influence the slope will have on your ball. The slender arrows are very subtle slopes. The moderately thick arrow is enough of a slope to where you don't want to be on the high side of it, and the thickest arrow is definitely something that you should negotiate around in order to create opportunities for yourself throughout the round. Before we get into the actual yardage book, I would like you to push pause, print out the book you just downloaded just in case you haven't done so already, and go get a pen or pencil, then come back ready to take some notes about what you're about to hear. The first hole at Pine Glen features a green that is mostly sloped from back to front. There is a small slope on the front right portion of the green, as well as a level spot that starts a couple paces from the back edge of the green. If you cannot get to the green with your first shot, the best place to chip from is just short of the green to leave an uphill opportunity for a par. The second hole is the first crazy green that you will find at Pine Glen. The slope on the left is sure to cause any ball that finds it to roll onto the right side of the green. The slope on the right will also push a ball away from it, ending up in the middle of the green. It will be best to stay below the hole on this green and to not be disappointed by a par, a tricky green to say the least. The third hole features a good-sized hill on the left side of the green, as well as a small ridge that slopes from the middle front portion of the green all the way down to the front fringe. Use the slope on the left to help a shot roll to a back pin. If you are between clubs, it will be best to choose the shorter one, as there is a hazard just behind the green and a large slope leading down to it if your ball flies too far. On the fourth hole, be sure to favor the right side of the green, as there are small mounds that will help a ball gather speed and roll left towards the green. The green itself has two mounds that will cause the ball to roll to the middle or left side. Use the hills to your advantage, especially if you are hitting a club to the green that tends to roll quite a bit. The fifth hole is rather simple, with the green that slopes from the back to the front. There is a large mound on the left side of the green that will cause any shot to roll to the right. Staying below the hole to a middle or back pin here is very important to leave a simple uphill putt for birdie. The sixth hole features a green that is presented at an odd angle. There is a hill on the left side of the green that will kick any ball onto the green if you catch it just right. Staying below and right of any pin location will leave an uphill putt. If you happen to miss the green, short and right of it is best, as it will leave you a basic chip with plenty of green to work with to make your par. The seventh hole is one of the longer ones at Pine Glen. The fairway slopes from left to right and will set up for a basic chip or pitch if you can't quite make it there in one shot. No matter if you make it to the green in one or two, you will find that most makeable putts come from below the hole, as the green slopes continuously from back to front. The eighth hole has a bit of character to it, but not until you get to the green. If you cannot make it to the green in one shot, be sure to leave yourself about 7 yards short of the green for a simple pitch. The green itself is sloped pretty significantly from back to front, with a small ridge in the front portion of it. Par is a good score here. The ninth hole looks like a few logs are buried both on and short of the green. The slope you see just before the green starts 13 paces from the front edge. Use a club that will either land where the fairway is flat and run up onto the green, or something that will carry all the way to the front edge of the green, using the slope in the middle as a backstop. As many of the greens at Pine Glen show us, it is again best to be short of any pin that is in front of the slope or in the middle of the green. If the pin happens to be on top of the slope, be sure to use enough club to get up there. The green is not as severely sloped in the back portion as it is on the front, so staying below the hole to a back pin is not necessary. The back nine starts with another green with a slope in front of it. Again, you either roll the ball up to the green or fly it all the way to the front edge. Once on the green, it is best but not extremely important to stay below the hole for the best birdie opportunity. The 11th hole is the second of 3 greens that has a large ridge in the middle of it. Just as we saw in the 9th hole, it is best to stay below the hole to any pin location short of the slope, but not so to a pin on top of the slope. Unlike the 9th hole, there is no large slope in front of the green, making the front of the green more accessible than the previous holes that featured such a slope. The 12th hole has a bit of a ridge in the left center portion of the green. If you come across a back left pin position, it is best to stay just right of it, but pin high. The slope may push your ball away from the hole, but it will leave you with a simple uphill putt and a great 2-putt par. If the pin is in front or middle of the green, below the slope, leave yourself short and right of the pin location for an uphill birdie putt. The 13th hole features a green that has a few mounds on the front right and back portions of the green, with the rest of the green sloped from back to front. It is best to stay below the hole here for a good look at birdie. If the pin is tucked just beyond the first mound, then stay just left of it and 2-putt for your par. The 14th hole features 2 slopes on the right side of the green. The one on the front part of the green isn't large, but if a ball lands on it, then it may bounce off of it a bit. The slope in the middle right portion of the green is rather large, making a shot pin high and left of it a good option for an easy 2-putt par. The 15th hole is the last time you will see a large slope in the middle of the green. Just as we saw in the 9th and 11th holes, it will be best to stay below any pin short of the slope, and while choosing enough club to get to a pin on top of the slope will be necessary to give you a good look at birdie. The 16th is the most oddly shaped green in this course. The front portion of the green slopes from middle to the front of the green. Once you get to about the middle of the green, it will slope off of the midline. Simply put, the left side of the green slopes to the left, and the right side of the green slopes to the right. Use these slopes to your advantage for any pins that may be tucked in the corners of this green. The 17th and 18th greens are fairly similar and feature slopes on the sides of this green. In the case of the 17th green, you will find a rather large slope on the right side, enough to where a ball should roll off of it back towards the middle of the green. It will be best to stay below the hole to any pin position, as the green is sloped significantly from back to front. The last hole at Pine Glen features a slope on the left side of the green, again large enough to cause the ball to roll to the middle and right part of the green. Choosing the right club to carry to the front of the green is important here, leaving you with a look at birdie to finish your round.